and welcome to my presentation, Where to Go Next, for designing with data. This is the data journalism installation. So my intention with this installation is I aim to evaluate, compare, and rank certain countries to help nomad people like me decide where to migrate in the short term. This is thinking especially for me and students like me who will be finishing their studies this year and have to decide if they stayed here or if they move to another country. So my opening paragraph is moving into another country most of the time seems like a promising bet. Many people migrate all over the world looking for a better quality of life, security, education, good wages, and opportunities. As a student who will finish his studies this year without job or children, the time to decide if I move or not to settle in another country comes closer. Evaluating life variables like healthcare access and quality, life expectancy, public expenditure on healthcare, daily cases of COVID-19, public expenditure on education, gross domestic product per capita or GDP, house pricing, and happiness indexes of certain countries, I hope to make an informed decision and help others make this decision in the process. The countries I will evaluate are Chile, my home country, Italy, the nation of my ancestors, USA, the land of opportunities, Canada, who is promoting immigration, New Zealand, the land of many natural wonders, and Australia, in where I currently live. So, where to go next? My audience profile for this, the first one is this guy called William McAllister. He lives in Melbourne. He's around 26 years old. He lives with roommates, studies a technology master's degree at RMIT, and he will finish it, just like me, on 2020. He enjoys going out to have beers with his mates and also enjoys playing video games and watching anime. He loves to shop for video games and anime figures at least once a month. Right now, he's looking for places to work, preferably in big tech companies with excellent benefits, in which he can stay and grow his career. He don't want to move much from company to company. He wants to settle in one place. So he's visiting the NGV to grow his network by meeting with digital experience artists. This is because he's looking for a good place to work when he finishes his studies. The second profile is Fedora McDonald's. She lives in California. She is 24 years old and she's half American and half Russian, so she speaks English and Russian fluently. She just finished her degree in biodesign, so she's traveling around the world, particularly in the southeast of Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. She loves big houses with big grass yards and wants to marry someone soon to start a family. So right now she's deciding in which country she will settle after her trip is over, and as a part of her trip, she's visiting the NGV with a friend, hoping to expand her design knowledge. For this project, the research methodology that I followed is basically like this one. I acquire the data conducting secondary research. This is mostly that I use data from trustworthy sources. The sources are the World Happiness Report 2020, I got a lot of data from the website Our World in Data, the website of UNESCO Institute for Statistics, and the website of Global Property Guide. So basically, after getting all data, I parse it to understand it, I filter it to get rid of the useless data and produce information, which then I represent it to have a better understanding of this information. And lastly, I refine it to have a clear display of what I want to show in the exhibition. So here's this is a sample. It's a short sample. The databases are way bigger than this. These are just the first 30 rows of each dataset. So I collected data for healthcare access and quality, life expectancy, and public expenditure on healthcare. All of these came from this place or were in data. I also got data from the same place and the UNESCO Institute for Statistics. Here I got data for daily cases of COVID-19. I will be upgrading this data because every day is important for the final representation of this. I got data of public expenditure on education and GDP per capita. Also, from Global Property Guide, I got these prices for buying. This is the average buying price per square meter in the main cities of each country. So for Australia, it's in Melbourne. For Chile, it's in Santiago, and so on. And some of this data is in American dollars, and some of the data is in euros. So I got from the World Happiness Report 2020 this ranking of countries in which they evaluate different aspects, and then they decide which country seems happier and which seems not happy at all. So some of the data I needed to parse it, like the house pricing, in which I mentioned before that some of the data was in euros, so I converted this with the with the exchange rate used on 31 of December of 1920, which is this number over here. Is just an approximation, and after getting all the data, I filtered it using only the countries that I want to compare, which, as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, are Australia, Canada, Chile, Italy, New Zealand, USA, and the average in the world if available. So I got some graphs of this website or World in Data to have a better understanding of the data that I acquired. I did this for the healthcare access and quality, which already give me a clear idea of which countries has a better healthcare access and better quality of healthcare, and in relation to the world. Also with the life expectancy. The important thing to notice here is I don't have all the data until 1920. So some data is like this one is until 1520. Same with this one, the public expenditure on healthcare. I got only the data from 1818 until 94 19. And daily cases of COVID-19. As I mentioned before, this will be upgrading it day by day, because it's each day varies a lot, and it's important for me to have in my data set. Same here, we can observe the public expenditure on education as part of the GDP for these countries over here. So it has been evolving through the years like this, and the same with the GDP per capita. The house pricing, I got the absolute numbers in American dollars and compare them in countries. I know later on I will use a relative quantifier. I will correlate this information with the GDP to get a more clear view of which country has better opportunities to me in terms of buying a house. This is an absolute number. It's not useful for this graph. This is just a display graph. This is the happiness index in which I selected. I filtered the countries that I wanted to compare. So where to go next? My design approach number one is to design an interactive globe in which the user can click each country to get all the information on the topics for that country. For example, if he clicks America, he will get the average GDP, the investment on healthcare, on education, the healthcare quality, and so on. My second design approach is to build a heat map, as this one I built in Tableau for this example, for the people to explore topic by topic, and hovering over the countries that I am comparing, they will be get a little bit of more of detail. The map itself paints with color and for the ranking of each country on that topic. So in this case, the greener ones are better positioned in that topic than the red ones. And my third design approach is to design an interactive website as this one, in which as you scroll down, you will get new information on each one of the topics with the proper graph comparing the countries. This one is the one that Reg show us. This one from box.com. She showed us as a bad example of using absolute numbers. Of course, I will not use absolute numbers, I will use relative numbers. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.